Well, I have here this Nissan Quest. See what it is. Nissan Quest. I believe it's 2004. Let's see here. What is it? I just started. I haven't done too much on it. I just barely started. I haven't started diagnosing that one, but 3.5, and it is 2005 Nissan Quest. Okay, what's the customer concern? They're saying this is been blowing the fuses. So it's been blowing the fuse 35, and also it's been burning coils. So you see brand new coils here. So the customer told me, first time I'm working on this vehicle, first time customer. So they have thrown a lot of parts to this thing already. As you see, that solenoid, coils, intake runners. They thought, they put a new airflow radio sensor because they thought this one could be short, and they got a new camshaft position sensor here in a box here inside. They were ready to throw this part too. So, and I questioned the customer pretty well, very well. I said, when did this symptom start? And they told me this one started like about a year ago, and they have been done like 3 sets of coils because it keep burning the coils. So as by experience, I know Nissan burns coils. However, that too much new coils. And I told the customer how the symptoms appear. It's related to temperature, just first thing in the morning, or what? And she told me, the lady was driving this, she told me, recently she told me they were putting a new fuse. I was driving fine on the road until I get to a stop, and I'm just getting off the stop is when the fuse get blown. Okay, that sounds interesting. However, they told me the fuse 35 is the one is blown. So I already got a wiring diagram, and I have here the fuse 35 already here. And yes, it is, the fuse 35 is blown. It's hard to see on this Nissan here, but the fuse is right here. This one looks like kind of black. So we're gonna test it with my test light right now. I'll go key on and we'll test that one. Okay, so I am here on fuse on the fuse 35. We're gonna go to the other end of the fuse, and yes, it is blown. The light doesn't illuminate. Another thing, I can hear the cooling fan on at all time. You hear that one? Okay, so when that happens, means the computer in a safe mode. So look at what happened here. I get all the lights illuminated here, go key off, and pay attention, that service engine light doesn't come on right there. No, I'm gonna go here, doesn't illuminate on self test, so the computer is not alive right now. Okay, so I already have the power distribution wiring diagram. So I have here, because I wanted to see what is powering up the fuse and what could be the potential, could be shorter, or what happened. Okay, fuse 35 location, a right side of engine compartment, as we saw that one. Okay, it doesn't give me too much here. It just say engine control, anti-theft system, engine control, but it doesn't give me a list like I would expect something like this, like this fuse, for example. Well, I gotta go to a different wiring diagram now and go directly here. I got the, how many pages I have here? Let's see here. Okay, so I printed here the diagram, 4 pages, 1 of 4. But look at this, here start the fuse number 35 right here, and it give it power to the ECM relay. Okay, that makes sense. The ECM is not communicating right now, it doesn't have power. However, we follow that one here, and we can see it goes here, and comes down here. We need to make sure, you see, power up all the ignition coil. We're gonna start doing our testing there. Probably our problem is not gonna be there, but we're gonna get the direction there. Okay, so right here, keep going. I highlighted that one was the number 2, and look at the number 1, because we're gonna follow those go here, 17 and 31. 17 is powering up. The condenser, that one could be shorter too. Those I have seen those get shorter. EGR valve, EGR, yep, that's another one because they get temperature. Camshaft position sensors, evap canister, so we have a lot of potential here. So now we're gonna go to the number 3 page. Okay, so that is powering up also. Días control solenoid, I don't know what is that. Right here, intake valve timing control solenoid, both. The air fuel radius sensor, as we saw that one, they replaced that one already. And that one too, the computer here. Okay, so remember, this vehicle is coming from different shop, like 3 shop. They have installed different type of they have installed different coils. So my plan is to put another fuel right now and see that one blow right away, because the customer said sometime it was blowing that one right away. Right now they said it's like that. Right away is blowing the fuse. So let me see, we'll install a fuse and we may start unplugging component. If it doesn't blow me the fuse right away, I wanted to start here on the coils and check powers and grounds to the coils. See a lot of corrosion there too. See on this thing? So we might have resistance there. Man, they got a lot of corrosion, this Nissan here on the connector. Or I don't know if that's, no, I don't believe that's the color. Is it? No, maybe it's not the color. I just see corrosion there on the connector. If it doesn't blow me the fuse right away, I will start checking power and ground here. If it blow me the fuse, so we gotta take a different direction, which will be unplugging components. Well, I got 2 fuses here already. It gave me a second and the engine started, but I got 2 blown fuses already here. Okay, so it didn't burn that one right away. Got my jumper here, but I saw smoke coming from the back there, so coils are burned out there. Okay, so we got bad coils on the back already, but we wanted to fix the root of the cause, because obviously the coils are not really the main issue here. The issue here is, you know, the coil has been burned for a reason. They are not the issue. So it's on the back, so I had to remove the plenum to get to them, because I won't be able to reach those coils without disassembly. That's pretty bad, you know, because well, I raised it up the vehicle. I will put it on the ramps and see if I can get it from the back. I don't think so, but I'll try. Okay, I already started the vehicle. What I did is I unplugged the coils on the back. So basically, after I did that, it's not burning anymore the fuse. So I know the short is something on the back is shorter, right here. So at this point, I wanted to find out what it is, because what is causing that to get shorter. I already know that one's blowing my fuse, but that's not the main reason. So look at this here. This is what I did. I unplugged these 2 connectors on the back. Okay, so the short is on the back. I will need to get authorization from the customer to remove those, because that's a different expensive. So let me see if we can duplicate. The customer said when he was putting this one in reverse is when that one was occurring. I mean, when they were getting to the stops, and she said when she was getting off the stop. So what I will do right now is I will power load the system. So I will put it in D and load it and see what happens. I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna put it in D and with my foot here without moving, and we're gonna find out if blow the fuse or what happened, because that's the customer said how this one started at the very beginning. Go again. Accelerating. Well, it doesn't wanna blow the fuse. That's good. Check for voltage drop test on this one. So what I wanted to do right now is load test this powers and ground here to the coil, because I see corrosion with the test light. So I'm gonna load the circuit. So at this point right now we're gonna be testing the power side, because I have the test lamp connected to ground, and I got that one connected to positive. So that way I wanted to find out if we have a voltage drop test. Okay, so plug it here. It's like a good power, you know, not a voltage, really a voltage drop test, you know, under load. This is the circuit right there. So now we're gonna go to the ground, move this one to the ground, and this one to the positive side, because we're gonna the test light to the positive, you can see there, and same thing. So I don't have a voltage drop and it's illuminated pretty good. Let me check for TSBs now on this thing. That's my next step. Well, I'm gonna be searching here on Identifix. So I just type here coils, and this is what it came up. Ignition coil are melting, setting random misfire P0300, and also we can see, okay, the report is this: 64 people have reported the battery negative cable problem, ignition coils, and engine computer. The other one is cable to ignition coils. Okay, so powers and ground. These are pretty good because I load tested them already. So the ground is good. So let me go here and find out what's going on here. So this is all the vehicle has been with those issues here. Moreno, Quest, blah blah blah. Customer concern. Ignition coil are melting, setting the coil, blah blah blah. Test procedures. Inspect the battery negative cable at the transmission end and replace the battery negative cable as necessary. Okay, check ignition coil, ground, blah blah blah. I already load tested them. It's saying is the connection is by the oil filler cap. Check the ignition coil ground voltage on the black wire each of the ignition coil less than 500 millivolts. Okay, tech tips. This is important here. Negative cable broken. Let me go up a little here. Negative cable broken. What do you say? Was broken. There is a TSB relator for this one. Are melting, blistering, or melting the coil. To inspect the negative cable and at the transmission. So I got a TSB open here on a new tab here, and here's the bulletin and the vehicles supposedly affected, but there are more vehicles than this, as we saw there. 2004 Nissan Maxima, we're here. 2005 Nissan Quest. Okay, so they are saying go and confirm this first. Let's see. Okay, one or more of the coils are blistered or melted. Hesitate on acceleration, rough running engine, runs engine crank but will not start. Action. Inspect the negative cable at the transmission end and the coils. We already know we got one coil is right now is melting. And parts information, we need those parts supposedly. The 6 coils, they said, and one cable. So following here more information down here, write it down, the radio station, and locate the disconnect and wiggle the transmission cable. So they're giving us a picture here how those supposedly looks like. That is what is being happening, they said. Example of broken cable. Okay, so we got enough information now. Let me raise up the vehicle and find out if we find that problem. That's the next step. We have enough information now. Well, we can see there is the problem here on the transmission, exactly as they said. Broken cable right here, and that cable, well, is connected to the body here of the vehicle right there. So apparently that's the one is been burning the coils because the ground is not enough ground. You know, it's the one is just passing through from the chassis, and we can see this small cable is going through the transmission. It's weird, you know, we didn't have any voltage drop there when I tested. Loaded test. Well, so we're gonna do this, and also we're gonna do the coil is burnout. And I'm gonna do OEM coils to at least on the rear. I'll tell the customer we need to do on the rear good OEM coils and replace this cable. Well, we have here the TSB, I mean the main page where I was searching for information here. And as we can see here, in green is the TSB, customer concern is on kind of light blue, red is my vehicle, and in yellow is basically the testing procedures. So there are some comments for one text. They replace those, and let me see, they replace the computer for all of these. So we can find out very low mileage. Some of them, you see this one, 131, 110, 89. This is like low mileage. So as we can see here, there's a TSB here, and here are the vehicle affected, and here is the what is going on with the coils melted, what they cause, the action. They are saying inspect the negative cable at the transmission end. They are sending us to replace that negative cable and the 6 coils. They don't mention about the computer. And let's see what else. That's the sample. Okay, my point here is this. We already know what is the root of the cause. Okay, this cable is the ground for the complete body. We only have one small wire gauge. It's just passing through right now. Even though it passed our voltage drop test, what happened here is the computer is been working without the proper ground. So the electronic components will get hot and will get damaged. So we cannot warranty this job. What we can do is replace the cable, the root of the cause. We can replace the coil with OEM coils because they fail a lot. We can also tell the customer we have the option right now to replace only those components and take the chance the computer is already damaged and burn more coils. If it does is the case and you install OEM coils, so now you need a computer, because as we can see here on the right hand side, on this case 64 people fixed only by doing the negative cable, ignition coil 46, and 11 the computer. So at this point, if you want to warranty this job, you have to do the computer new, no use, because if you do a use, it's a common issue. Nothing warranty, that one is gonna fix it. Or we can take the chance, just talk up front to the customer and say, we're gonna do the coils, we're gonna do the cable, and it is possible the computer is already damaged, because this is the case. We didn't build this vehicle, and this is manufacturer issues. If we don't know about it, the customer doesn't know, and we only throw coils and the cable like it's been before. They have been throwing coils and burning them. We had two variables there. One, they are using aftermarket coils. This coil failed a lot on this vehicle. So just do yourself a favor. Just use OEM. And if still keep burning coil after you install OEM coils and fix the cable, you need a computer. Simple like that. Just gotta present it right to the customer.